Oi, oi. Well, I'm glad to say. Believe it or not, I'm back on the bank. Obviously got the darts on in the background on the iPad. Yeah, back up Wisley, back in the same swim as the results I had back in early part of December, actually, when just before that big cold snap we had. Yeah, got up here today. Steve's on as well, which is mint. Good to see the old boy back on the bank. So yeah, got up here about lunchtime. Hopefully that iPad isn't too loud in the background. Yeah, so I got up about lunchtime. Chewed the fat with Steve for a bit, cut the brews. And the weather was shit on the way up here. Obviously, half the country's flooded at the moment. Stop shouting. Yeah, obviously after the country's underwater at the moment. I was lucky to get up here. The amount of roads is shut. But yeah, we got here, so happy days. Yeah, so back in the same swim. Steve done last night, but nothing for him. Yeah, he said it was very quiet, which is a shame. It'd be nice to see him catch a fish, really, to be fair. So yeah, I pretty much got sorted just before dark. I've had myself a cracking chilli, homemade chilli, which Kate from the pub made us Monday night for the darts team. And there was a load left, so obviously I took it proper art as well. So I had that with some rice and some tortilla chips. And check this out. Now this is a badass red wine. It's probably back to front. I don't know if it is or not. It's called 19 Crimes. I tried it over Christmas, and I tell you what, it is absolutely clucker. Let's turn this down a minute. It's getting my tits. Where's the volume? Did you know that Booking.com does flights too? That's better. So yeah, tried it over Christmas over my mother's. So she introduced me to it, and it is banging. I actually had it for, I think I had it in the morning before I even had anything to eat. Bizarrely enough, but yeah, it's definitely a nice red wine. Sorry, all fingers and thumbs. So yeah, Carp and Raw, we're back. It's January the, I don't even know what date it is. I think it's the 12th, is it? Don't know, not sure what date it is, but yeah. So hopefully we could continue the success that I had in December, and obviously the autumn. Yeah, and the plan is to do a few sessions up here. If I don't catch in those few sessions, then I should be off somewhere else. Just for winter, really, have a go, you know. Yeah, try and catch a few. That's the plan. Obviously, otherwise I wouldn't be here. But it did take a bit of motivation to get here today, because the weather has obviously been absolutely dire. More rain than you can imagine. I mean, the lake's probably about 3 foot up from summer levels, 3 or 4 foot up. I ain't kidding. It's proper minging. Got old trudge around here. Just glad I got a power barrow, because it was needed. Anyway, I'll keep this short and sweet. Obviously, if anything happens, I should be whacking it on there. Yeah, and I'll do a little blog in the morning once it's daylight, and show you just how deep this place is now, or flooded, I should say. But yeah, there's a few people on. Spoke to a young lad earlier. He's done a bit up here. Didn't say whether he'd caught me, reckons he's seen him. So I was like, right, happy days. And it just so happens between where I am now and Steve, who's probably, I don't know, a couple of 100 yards away on the same bank, reckons that's where he's seen most of the fish. But obviously when he got here, me and Steve were already here, so yeah, that's the way it goes, isn't it? Club waters. But anyway, I'll update this tomorrow. I'm going to enjoy my wine and the darts, and get my head down. So fingers crossed. You never know. Oh yeah, and Happy New Year. Bucket. Well, it's the afternoon. Following on from last night, nothing happened, unfortunately. Not really surprised with the amount of cold flood water that's going in here at the moment. Yeah, it's well up, as you can see. My rods are usually down there, but the pipe's a good foot underwater now. For those of you who remember, that's where I had to fish in December. The old coals, new way of lighting them, thanks to Laney. Yeah, no fire lighters, so just stick the coals on the top of Coleman, get them going. Chuck them on the old cob. We've got a nice big fry up to go in the pan. Hold on a minute. So, you can jump out too. Sorry about the poor quality camera work. So I've got this bad boy, which sits directly on there. And obviously it's a big curry dish really. Well, I had a big chilli last night, so today I've got all the gubbins for a nice big fry up, so, and I'll be having that earlier rather than later, because obviously it gets dark quite early. So yeah, I've had nothing else to eat today, so yeah, definitely looking forward to that. Coals and me. Just about ready, I think. But yeah, so no worries if you get your fire lighters and there's no stink, you've got to mess about with them. I'm going to switch this camera around. All fingers and thumbs rusty. So Steve's packed up and gone. But there's a few people on, which is really surprising. There's a bloke down for who's a bit of a liability, to be fair, asking questions like, oh, where are you casting? What are you doing? What are you doing this? What are you doing that? Just a ball ache. But him and his son are up here, down in the gates with him, which is, I'm glad to say, quite far away from me. And I think there's somebody else dropping in where Steve was. So yeah, and there's somebody up past me, a nice lad up past me. Stopped and had a chat yesterday. So it's getting attention, you know, which is good. I mean, it's getting bait in the water, but I've never expected it to be this busy. Getting stunk out by the fumes now, the coal. But yeah, nice bit of sunshine. You can probably see behind me. Yeah, which is nice. Obviously it's been a deluge of rain around the country really. My hometown, good old Brafflin Havens, proper flooded. I might not be able to get home yet. Oh well, more time on the bank. But anyway, I'm going to cut this a little bit short because I want to get this cob up and running. But yeah, nothing to report. Still got another night. And there's been quite a few sessions where I've caught on the second night. So in light of the amount of anglers that are to my right and the amount of rods and spods that will be going out, I might just sit on them. Probably top it up with a bit of bait later on. But the rigs I'll just leave in position, I think. Yeah, see what happens. Anyway, I should check in again later. Bugger. Wow, what have we got on Clarky's kitchen today? Check this out. Full on, full English. Sausage, bacon, black pudding, mushrooms and beans. On the cob. Oh, I can't wait to tuck into this, I tell you. I've had nothing all day. And then once I finish that, get on the old 19 crimes, I think. Happy days. Oi, oi. All fingers and thumbs as usual. Mainly because I'm well over halfway through a bottle of wine. Not the best content really this session so far anyway. Hats all over the gaff. Yeah, got my little Coleman going down there. Yes, I have got ventilation. I'm not that stupid like some people. Yeah, so yeah, well over halfway through a bottle of red. 19 crimes it's called. I think I said that yesterday probably, but it's proper nice. Sat next to the stove, been warming up all evening really, just having a sip now and again. Yeah, I'm quite liking the red wine to be fair. Anyway, so fishing wise, it's busy for this time of year. What was there, 1, 2, there's 5 of us on. Which I'm amazed about, 5 including me. Yeah, I really didn't expect it. Yeah, word on the street is like this place doesn't fish in winter. But obviously I know different, and so do you guys, up till December anyway. But yeah, obviously things change. We've had a lot of cold rain. We had 2-week cold snap. So yeah, will it make a difference? Probably to be fair. Although if there has been anglers on irregular, it means there's still bait going in, which is it's only going to be a good thing, isn't it? So yeah, had a quick chat with a lad along for me earlier. He's a nice lad. He reckons he's seen sort of fish recently. I think last week he said it's at least 4 different fish showing this sort of vicinity where I am. He's fishing next swim up, doing a bit of timing now. The old Coleman flaring up. Yeah, but he's had nothing. And I told him what I'd caught, you know. He seemed like a nice lad. He was forthcoming with fucking stove. Forthcoming with advice. Well, not advice, but you know, info if you like. So I thought, well, you know, I don't mind sharing it. So yeah, nothing to report us today apart from the banging fry up on the cob. What a piece of kit that is, honestly. Takes a little while, but I just something about cooking outside, you know, proper. All's done. Bag of briquettes. Started them on the Coleman, get them nice and hot, get them glowing. Chuck them on the cob. Leave them to do their thing for 20 minutes or so. Chuck the food on. Happy days. Easy, so easy. But yeah, rods wise, I've left them out. I was happy with where they went last night. Well, yesterday afternoon. Happy with the bait still on there. They're all tipped with a little bit of fake corn, just for a sight stop really. Obviously the water's gin clear, so I think it could be a shout. Yeah, so I've left them out. I've just put a little bit of ground bait over the top and a few more boilies. Yeah, left it at that really. Quite happy with where they went. Didn't see the need to disturb them. And obviously it said there's 3 other anglers turned up and they're obviously casting all over the gaff, so I thought, you know what, I'll keep my little bit of water relatively undisturbed, apart from putting a bit of bait in. So, but you know what I mean, they've not have any heavy leads and that in the area, so it might help. But anyway, I'm rambling shit. That's nearly 4 minutes worth. I'm going to finish my wine. I'm going to get my head down. So yeah, last night, fingers crossed, you never know. Fingers crossed for a winter whacker. Yeah, I may upload this next week when I've got a bit more content, or the following week. Me and Stevie got 3 nights, not next week, week after, so that'd be good. Bit of a birthday sauce, because this is the end of January. Obviously mine's February, so we'll have a couple of 3 nights on the bank together. That'd be good. Bit of a sauce, a few too many drinks I expect, and chatting bollocks like we do. That's what it's all about, isn't it? Anyway, I'll update us as and when. Yeah, let's see what happens, but don't hold your breath. Bucker. Really not looking good for me packing up. Not happy. Oi. Well, back on the bank. What's the date? 3rd?
2nd, isn't it?
2nd or 3rd of February, one of the two. This is carp and raw, so you know it is what it is. But the old grizzly alert. Oi.
Hi boys.
Yeah, so got up here this afternoon, about dinner time-ish, something like that, wasn't it? I got here. You were up here, Geege yesterday, weren't you?
Yeah.
I'm on the opposite bank from where I've caught recently, well, December. Last year now, technically, old news. But we're opposite that area. Steve, you see something this morning, was it? Last night?
I think so. I did see a bird come up, so...
Right, yeah. So, yeah, just got to go with what you know, ain't you, really, this time of year. So, I'm doing the usual, as I always do, bottom baits, our own mates. Yeah, plenty of stink over the top, ground bait with loads of like hydroslates and stuff like that in it. Yeah, so obviously it's early days yet, but check this out. Look at that. That is a proper homemade curry, courtesy of the Grizz. All the trimmings, rump steak in it.
Yes.
Rump steak meat in there, onions, peppers, a couple of jars of sauce, and as you can see, it's just steaming away nice on the old cob. So that'd be nice, mate, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
And then this bad boy, which knocked me out last time, to be fair. But it's the old 19 crimes. So we're having a drop of that. It's just warming up by the old cob at the moment. So stack that out because it's shit right on the camera. It's better. So yeah, mate, but all quiet so far, innit? Like I say, we were supposed to angle last week, but obviously most of the lakes up and down the country are either fully frozen or partially frozen. So we was it raining as well?
No,
No.
No,
The trouble is, it's a good hour and a half in it for us, and it's just no way of knowing whether it's fishable. So we decided against it, but we usually get together for our birthday shows. Obviously yours is January, end of January, and mine's sort of second week in February, so we always just do this anyway, somewhere or another. So yeah, we just cancelled it a week basically, but you've only got the one night, ain't you, this time? But yeah, so we'll just make the most of it tonight. Have this curry, probably most of that wine, I expect. Yeah, and just see what happens. So I'll update this tomorrow. Yeah, hopefully it'll happen, mate. You never know, do you?
Never know.
But don't hold your breath.
No.
Bugger. Oi, afternoon. It's about 1:45, day 2. Following on from the vlog last night with that pucker curry. Yeah, we had copious amounts. As always, me and the Grizz always seem to do too much food. Never learn, but yeah, we managed to do most of it. Just a bit of sauce and onions left, but wow. Yeah, them cobs seriously a game changer. If anybody hasn't got one who watches me vlogs, like, seriously, it's amazing what you can do on them. Yeah, if you get all like, obviously I've got a big curry dish. I've got a barbecue. Well, it's a hot plate. That's what it's known as, a hot plate, but you can do your barbecue bits on it. Yeah, just mad. Pizza stone, you know, you name it, you can cook it on it pretty much. Yeah, and literally I think it was 7-8 barbecue briquettes to light it. Light on the stove, don't even need fire lighters. That's something I've learned through Laney, so I'm sure he don't watch me vlogs, but if he does, nice one, Laney. Yeah, just stick it on your stove, get them going, chuck it in, let it do its thing for, I don't know, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and you'll know, because yeah, the lid gets red hot. As soon as that lid's red hot, chuck your food in, just let it do its thing. I mean, you know, it's just all trial and error really for me. Like I said, I only got it in October, I think it was, September, October. So I'm just thinking, oh, what can I do on it now, you know? I know you're supposed to, you know, people say, oh, supposed to do joints of meat on it and all that, but there's no point on my own. But obviously last night curry was just a game changer. But tonight we've got a taste of, is it Sainsbury's Taste of Difference cottage pie, and it's quite big in as well, in a tin foil. I've got fresh veg, I've got a bit of gravy. So the gravy being, the veg being a pot on the stove. But, you know, cottage pie will take probably 45 minutes. And it's a proper hearty meal on the bank, innit? You know, you ain't gonna get better than that. You know, fair play to you anglers that can live on pot noodles, but yeah, I can't do that. Yeah, I eat better and I do it at home, believe it or not. Anyway, on to the session. Nothing to report. Otherwise, obviously, it'd be in front of this little vlog. I've just redone the rods. I've had to I retied one of my rods because I was using the old Thinking Angler C-clips. But the trouble is, you go much more than a 3-ounce lead, even on the heavier clips. Yeah, they come off too easy. Nice later on in the year, don't get me wrong. Obviously, when it's proper weeding, you need that lead to come off. But yeah, if you anything over 18 wraps, yeah, it's not the one. Lead just pops off. So I swapped over to the mini quarter heli safes. That's it. Couldn't think of the word then. Yeah, so re-rigged another rod up on one of them. The other ones are on the standard ones in train on cue. Yeah, so redone the rods, fresh baits. Just mixed up a load of boilie crumb, a little bit of ground bait in with it because it's all glugged up with liquid. Yeah, I mean that's been brewing away for 4 months now. Yeah, 4 months, 5 months nearly. No, 4 months. Yeah. So you know, and it's all hydroslates and liquids and what have you. Basically, what goes in the boilie. Yeah, obviously in a smaller amount, but it's amazing how much liquid you can get into a decent method mix or ground bait. I reckon a good litre and a half of liquid is gone into 5k of ground bait, and it's just bonkers. Yeah, but it's proper, you know. I think it's a little edge, you know. There's loads of particles. There's nothing big in there at all. The biggest I got is little dinky 3mm Robin Red pellet, and that's it. The biggest item. The rest of it's just all stink, you know. And then I had, you know, my chopped boilie. I put my boilie through a Ridge Monkey chopper. You know, chopper. Don't know what they call them now. Crusher. It's not even a crusher. It is a crusher, but you know the ones I mean. Stick on top of your bucket. It's got a churny handle on it. So yeah, you know, you get a few big bits, but not many. Most of it's quite fine, you know. I guess it depends what body you're putting through it, but yeah. So yeah, just putting that in with a ground bait, wet it down a little bit. You know, there's not a lot of food there at all. Obviously, I'm on bottom baits as usual. I know people are like, really, this time of year? But it worked in December, you know. As far as I'm concerned, that's good enough proof that it will work. You know, I'm not saying, you know, obviously, the bright ones and all that work, but it's just not my style of angling, never has been, really. I like a stinky bottom bait, and people are like, oh, well, what if you can't put a bottom bait out? You know, what if it's not clean enough? Well, I won't fish it then, you know, I'll find another spot. But where I am here is basically opposite where I caught in December. Sorry, I'm aware that I'm rambling and all fingers and thumbs and what have you, but it is carp and raw, as I said before. I don't know if you can see over there somewhere. Oh, it's a nightmare pointing like that. So dead opposite pretty much as the pipe swim. So yeah, I mean, I've had it on authority from another lad that gets up here that he's seen a fair few fish, sort of, you know, not loads, but he has seen them sort of nutting out and that round anywhere from the pipe up to here, down to me right, which is where Steve was. So you know, I mean, it doesn't mean to say they're always there, you know, but you just got to go on what you know. So basically I'm fishing 18 wraps, all 3 rods, your standard boilie fishing really. Out on singles, a little bit of spom over the top, which I just talked about, and then throw and stick later on when the gulls have fucked off basically, or when it's dark and they can't see it. Yeah, not a load, just spreading it about, you know. And you know, anybody that knows a bit about nature or takes any notice, you know, even if you're not an angler, you know, as soon as them snowdrops come out, you get that sort of day, an hour and a half a day, suddenly the light starts increasing, you know. Ain't gonna be long before they're waking up proper, I don't reckon. You know, start showing, getting rid of all the leeches and what have you. I mean, you know, obviously we can still get snow in April, March. Hopefully we don't, but you know what I mean. It just those levels start changing, and yeah, nature starts waking up. The grebes have started waking up. The geese are coming back. Yeah, you know, so they know the fucking score. They ain't stupid. Not many bugs about at the moment, but as soon as they start waking up, you know, you get the buds on the trees, and yeah, so yeah, buzzing. Love this time of year, to be honest. I don't even know why I bother fishing in the summer. You think it's going to be, oh yeah, man, once you get there, but you sweat your bollocks off. And it feels like you've been here a week before you've even sat up, you know. But yeah, anyway, this is just a little bit of content really. If I catch, obviously I still got tonight, pack up tomorrow. There's always a chance, you know, always a chance. There's a couple of pike anglers floating about. I think there's one other guy. He's down on the shallows, which I can understand, but our water is proper cold, really, really cold. I mean, you know, it's going to be in it. We had a couple of times now where it's gone proper cold period, then you get a mild period, you know. I think we're just on a full moon at the moment. I think it's tomorrow or Sunday, but I should be packed up and gone by then, unfortunately. But, you know, all those little things, you know, you can't obviously always pick when you fish, but yeah, sometimes it lands right. You just never know, do you? Anyway, I should stop rambling. That's a good 8 minutes. You know, and this content I'll just bolt together. You know, there's no point me putting up rambling vlogs and nothing else. You know, I need to be able to catch, really, I think. So, you know, if I get a month where I've had nothing, hopefully that won't come to that. But if, you know, a good period, then I'll just put the vlogs up. And you know, if they get liked and watched, then happy days. You know, it's a diary really. Yeah, like I said, you know, at the end of the day, I kind of like watching it back really. It's nice to get, you know, the comments and that I've had, obviously. Yeah, what was I going to say? Yeah, like I said, I have plans that, you know, if I don't, you know, if I have however many sessions on here blanking, then I might go and try down Engie. But the trouble is, as long as these mild periods stay, Engie will be a circus again before you know it, you know. And I'd dearly love to give it a go, but I just can't be doing with the mentality of the anglers that are on there. You know, I get big fish hunting. I've done it 15 years myself, you know. yeah, how they seen a claim of swim. It's like, you can't fucking do that, mate. It's not a syndicate, you know, it's a club water. You know, I don't know if I've covered it in one of my blogs before, but I had a fallout with some dickhead. And I'll say dickhead because he is a dickhead. There's nothing to do with him. But even so, you know, it put me off. I was like, I don't come angling to get grief, you know. So yeah, I gotta be honest, that has put me off to go on there because I just can't be bothered with the grief. You know, not that I'm scared or anything like that. You know, I'm a fucking middle-aged man who just wants a bit of peace and quiet, basically, and go about my thing, you know, fishing. So yeah, we'll see. I mean, you know, hopefully I'll continue catching on here. It won't be the case, but so yeah. Anyway, I'm rambling. That's well over 10 minutes. Let's have fingers crossed and hope that we have one tonight. Early hours. I did have a savage liner actually. Early hours of this morning. Fucking had me out of bed. Yeah, just on, and that was it. So it weren't no grieve because they ain't fishing at that time of night. They're roosting up. So yeah, some sort of liner. I think Steve had a couple as well on the night. So you know, there's activity. You know, however subtle it may be, there's wind as well. I don't know if you can pick it up. It's gone left. It's gone right. Yet the weatherman says, "Oh yeah, westerlies for the next fucking however long." It's not. Yeah, majority is west. Then it goes northwest. Then it goes north. Then it goes west. It's like fucking hell. So yeah. Anyway, rambling, talking shit, as I do. This is Carp and Raw. What can I say? I'll probably check in later on when I've got the old cottage pie on the bubble. It's a bit rude not to, innit? I'm already dribbling thinking about it, to be fair. Anyway, till later. Bugger. Well, back again. It's now darkness. The old cob's rocking. With a big old shepherd's pie, to be fair. It's a beast that just about fits in there, which is good for future reference. And the sat on top is a half-drunk bottle of 19 Crimes. Anybody likes a little drop of red, that's very nice. Trust me, it is very nice. So we got pan of fresh veg, broccoli, leeks, peas, beans, happy days. That will go on the stove once the cottage pie's done. Probably take about an hour, I reckon. It says 50 minutes in the oven, so give it a bit longer for the cob. A little pot of gravy. Happy days. You never know, I might even save a little splash of wine to put in the gravy. I doubt it, because I'll probably neck it all, but yeah, the old Canadians in the background. Yeah, sat watching the water for quite a while earlier. No real signs of life, to be honest, but no surprise. Like I said, still early, water's freezing. I did take the opportunity to put a bit of bait out with a throwing stick, not a lot, but just keep it trickling in, you know. They'll wake up eventually. I'll be surprised if they ain't already, to some extent, but yeah, it's been a nice day here. About 12 degrees, 10, 12 degrees, something like that. So yeah. Anyway, I'll update this as and when. Fingers crossed for a fish tonight, you never know. Early hours, I reckon, if anything. But we'll see. I'll probably tag a little bit on the end of this for when the cottage pie's done. Sad, but it's got to be done when you're on the bank. I'm usually quite against people putting up their food when they're at home. But I just think it's something special, you know, when you can knock out a decent dish on the bank this time of year. Yeah, it's just another little perk that I like with fishing, really, this time of year. Old train going by in the background. And the old foxes are quiet tonight. Last night they were fucking going mental. But yeah, it's been very quiet tonight, so probably start later. Rucking or whatever they're up to. Anyway, for now, that is it. Fucker. Right, well, we're a little bit further on now from my last vlog. I'm pissed. I don't mind saying I'm pissed. Half a bottle of that 19 Crimes, right? But check this out. Seriously, man. Oh, if I had smell-o-vision. fucking shadow does my nut. Look at that. Full on cottage pie with cheese on top. Alright. Fresh veg bubbling away. In fact, to be fair, it needs to be turned the fuck down. And bit of gravy with a Dragon Web wine in it because I quite liked it, so I nailed it. I can't wait to get stuck into this. Bugger. You alright, buddy? Well, second morning. Unfortunately, no fish. It's not really surprising. The water is proper cold, as you can imagine. We're only like, what, a week after it was froze solid. But, oh, I can zoom in. So that's a pipe swim opposite that I was in December. Led there last night, watching something on the iPad. It must have been between 11 and half 11, I can't remember exactly now. But over here roughly, which is quite far away from where I am, but yeah, it was like this now, flat calm, hell of a bosh. I was like, okay, now sounds like somebody threw a cow in this sort of vicinity where I caught in December, I reckon. Yeah, hell of a lot of ripples. So I was like, you know, that was a good fish. So yeah, it was a definite fish. And then I had a few quite savage liners actually in the night. But yeah, nothing come of it, unfortunately. But I mean, I got my lines proper slack. I'm using ESP Synchro loaded. I've got to say it sinks like a brick, and it ain't too bad casting actually. As long as you wet it down, it's all right. So yeah, my lines are like literally draped off the rod tips. Yeah, so I'm not sure whether the liners possibly fish up and down the margin. Yeah, or out further, but whichever. There was, you know, there's bits happening, you know. But yeah, I had a banging cottage pie last night with veg and gravy, as I previously said in the blog. I didn't put it on film because I was too busy eating it, basically. But yeah, so I'm just enjoying my fresh coffee out of this bad boy. Nothing better than fresh coffee. Yeah, just enjoying that. And I'm gonna have a slow pack away. I'm not in no rush. It's dry, which makes a fucking change. I swear every time lately I've come fishing it's been miserable. But it is winter, you know, you gotta remember that. I do forget sometimes. So yeah, anyway, that'll be it for this week. Probably won't bother putting a blog up because there's no real content really, just me rambling. There's a group of birds. It's quite weird actually. You can just make them out behind the trees there. There's a couple of swans, seagulls who follow the coots, and the tufties. So they're in next door. Steve was just down there when he was here. So they're out over the area he was fishing. So obviously they're picking up baits that he's put out, but they don't seem to hassle you when you're here, which is quite weird. Maybe they're used to getting hooked. Could be that. Yeah, I've had none over me spot at all, but I guarantee you as soon as I got on, they'll be on it. You know, it doesn't really bother me, to be honest, because at the end of the day those birds live on the water, you know, so if they pick up your bait and eating it, they're still shitting it out, you know what I mean? So it's still going back in the water as such, just in a different way. So yeah, it doesn't really bother me. I didn't put loads of bait out, a fair bit of ground bait, but as everybody knows, there's no food content in that. It's just an attractor really, but it will get them grabbing about when they wake up. So yeah, anyway, won't be angling next week. It's my birthday on Saturday. 46 years old. I feel it and all sometimes. So yeah, next weekend won't be happening, and I think it's a bit minging and wet and cold again next week. But hopefully after that it'll be more frequent. We can put another fish on the bank, fingers crossed. So yeah, I'm gonna try and flip this round now. So yeah, that's me done for this session, unless a miracle happens in the next half an hour, which I doubt it. Yeah, that'll be it. Anyway, until next time, bugger. Boarded. Yep, half asleep face. There he is. I've been up for quite a while, to be fair, but only because I'm on the bank. Yeah, what we on Friday the 3rd of March. Uneventful night, unfortunately. But I did have a banging lasagna and garlic bread on the cob last night. I'll tell you what. Yeah, that was bang on. Absolutely perfect. Yeah, the old cob fells never fails to amaze me, really. I can cook anything I want on it. Most important part of the day, fresh coffee. That's the one. Red hot. I don't know what time it is now, about 6:30, something like that. Yeah, so having my lasagna and garlic bread. Watched the darts, Premier League on my iPad. Struggled to stay awake to the end, but I managed just about to. Yeah, done myself a little bit of plug-in, double chocolate mocha with a shot of Beckford's, I can't remember what it's called, Beckford's something or other rum. Trust me, it's the one. Pardon the pun. Yeah, banging that is in a double chocolate mocha. And it was night shortly afterwards, basically. Yeah, a little bit of an occurrence on the middle rod last night, but it's proper deep margins. Got those little tiny back leads. I think they're Nashi ones. Yeah, just out off the shelf, and water level's still up, as you can probably see. Yeah, it's usually dry land by quite a bit down there. In fact, it was this swim in October. I had the first fish out of here on the old maids, and I don't know if you can see the sandbags just in front of my net. I was stood down there just to try and net it in front of there, and that's proper deep now. So yeah, the old water levels are proper up. A quick view, but as usual this time of year, it's better asked. Got blossom on one tree over there opposite. That's about it, really. Old buds are starting to come out on the trees though, and the old nose has started running already. And I don't know whether that's because it's cold, because it is cold, or the old hay fever maybe kicking in already. I seem to get worse every year the older I get, but yeah, the old antihistamines and that sort that out hopefully. So I have to start dosing up on those pretty soon. Ugh, excuse the yawning, but yeah, so Stevie's just down further, I don't know, what's it, 150 yards away, something like that. I don't think he's had anything, otherwise it'd have been longer for sure. So yeah, nothing to report as yet, really. I'm hoping I'm not going to have too many of these blank vlogs. Like I said, I shit out last month really for, like I said yesterday, for one thing and another. It's just like, really? All I want to do is get on the bank, but so there you go. So March is a little bit better, although allegedly we got the beast from the east coming next week. Why they called it that? It's been the same for years, as long as I can remember anyway. You get that last sort of hit of winter in March, even up to April sometimes, but it's finally on the way, I think. Bit of decent weather. We've had some nice long sunshiny days. Okay, the temperature still ain't been great, but them fish will be up and doing, you know, catching early rays of sun. Probably more so, you know, in the higher layers of the water, but you know, you're not allowed to fish jigs on there anyway, so we just rule that out really. But yeah, there was a lad I was chatting to yesterday. I can't remember if I said this last night, but he's had a couple of fish. Yeah, I did say it. He's had a couple of fish out of here. It was last week. Yeah, I think he said last week. One of them being a 30, which was a nice long, sort of leathery fish. And another 20, I think. So you know they're definitely awake. Oh, I think I might have just seen one. Something just went over. Again, and that pipe swim off to the right. This is where I should be, really. Just waiting a minute to see if anything comes up. Nah, bird, false alarm. Always wait, always give it a good 10 seconds, in my opinion. Yeah, there's a group of tufties out there, see? Right, that's interesting. That's very interesting. Just waiting a minute. Right, so basically, you should be able to see that dead opposite where I am. There's just like that swim opening. That's a pipe swim, and just as you're looking at it now, this side is a couple of tufties, and I'd say they're pretty much over the sort of spots that I had those fish in December, but they're diving on something. I haven't fished it, so maybe somebody else has found that little area, because they're obviously diving on something. It'd just be interesting to see how long they dive over it for. But when I was in there last session, I fished, and I was like 3 weeks ago, so a while ago. Again, flat calm, about 11:30 at night. Bosh, something big, proper nutted out over there in that sort of area where they were just now. I don't know if you can actually pick them up, but yeah. So yeah, might even have a little look round there later on. The trouble is at the minute, so I'm near enough as far as you can get around the lake without doing a whole lap. If you come in from that way, you got John Baker's Syndicate Lake up around there, but as you come round it, oh, it's proper cut up bad because of all the rain we had. But I haven't been around that way for a little while now, so all I know is my last time I went round there in the pipe, it was fucking minging, savage. Even a power bar struggled through that, which ain't the one, is it? So I'm gonna go around that way, all the way around, and have a look, see how bad it is around that bottom bank. And I may even contemplate doing a pipe next week, just to put my mind at rest, really, whether, you know, they're still over there or not. It's a strong possibility. So matey's had a couple of fish out of here. Obviously I've no idea where, I didn't ask him, but not that I do that anyway. But out of here, oh, you've got the middles, which is like 20 wraps, 22 wraps. But yeah, I always fish it at sort of 18, and there's like a silk gully that goes through, and I always tend to have all 3 rods sort of spread along that, really. Standard boilie fishing, still boilie fishing obviously, but I just tip off the bottom bait with a bit of corn this time of year, just for a bit of extra sight, you know. Get my words out, Clarky. Yeah, sight stop basically, you know, so just something for them, more than for the pick up on. Put a fair bit of ground bait in last night, and 2 spoms of boilies. I used a fox spom to put the boilies out, it just seems to go out better. Oh, stove flaring up. Yeah, so literally probably, well, I don't know, I think it's about 20 out, you get 14-18 millers in it, so there's like 20 odd boilies out there, and that's spread between the 3 rods, so there's not loads of bait out there, but I did put a fair bit of ground bait in, but that, as you know, just disperses to nothing. It's got plenty of liquids in it, so there's plenty of smell out there, you know. Fucking stove. Good old Coleman. Anyway, yeah, so a good night's sleep, undisturbed unfortunately, but we've still got today, although I still think at this time of year they're still going to get one at night. Mate's 2 fish out of there, they were in the night, quite early on and all. I think he said like 9 o'clock, one of them, so there you go. Anyway, I'm going to drink my coffee, and I shall update this later on. Maybe with more ramble, maybe with fish, you never know. Fuck up. Oi oi. Well, a little bit of an update, although no fucking fish, unfortunately. And that is the handle of my old cob. Just warming up the coals on the Coleman. No need for fire lighters. Yeah, well, what can I say? Not a lot to report really. Done a bit of a lap earlier, just a bit of exercise really. Yeah, there's one other on, he decided to move, reckons he see a couple of fish, but all I'm going to say is I was staring at the same sheet of water at the same time, and he didn't know I was there, and I didn't see fuck all. So yeah, yeah, not convinced, but there you go. So I'm sticking to my guns really. Put a little bit more boilie crumb out, actually a fair bit, but like I said, boilie crumb is, yeah, a lot of it is dust really, a few bigger bits in amongst it, you know. So yeah, that's me really. Rods back out, refreshed Europe baits. Although I did wind in 2 of my rods. I've been battered by definitely naturals, you know, got pieces out of it and that, not birds. I've had no birds over me at all, so that's a good sign, I suppose. The old naturals waking up, the fish ain't gonna be far behind. You wouldn't have thought so anyway. So yeah, that's it really. I'll just dump myself a latte with a bit of rum in it. I got a bottle of this tonight. I think I showed you this yesterday. Lovely jubbly, courtesy of my mum and stepdad, so part of my birthday present. So I thought, right, I'll save that for when I'm on the bank. So that'll go down nice tonight. The old UK Open Championship on dart, so I have out my iPad. Yeah, and I've got pine chips and gravy tonight. I can't wait to have that. So the old cob, absolute godsend, you know, brilliant for the winter. Hot meals, easy. Yeah, last night I think I already said this, possibly lasagna and garlic bread, and it was fucking perfect, just the job. So so yeah, fingers crossed for tonight. And actually thinking about it, I mean, talking to Steve about it yesterday, and like, you know, say 48 hours, but it's not. I mean, I didn't probably get sorted till this time Thursday, so you know, come tomorrow, it's, yeah, I'm on the motorway by midday usually, certainly on packed up by then. So yeah, it's not really a true 48 hours, but yeah, it's just nice being out. Like I said, I missed a few weeks, so hopefully I won't miss the next few, although next week's looking shit. Yeah, I've got a lot of snow and that coming in apparently Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, so we'll see how that one pans out. If it looks alright, I'll still fish, because the air pressure's dropping rapidly on Tuesday, Wednesday, so yeah, if I can fish and it doesn't look too shabby, I will. But if not, it'll be the following week. We'll see how it pans out really. But anyway, the old fingers and thumbs, the old coals are smoking away. It's about ready to chuck in, I reckon. I'll keep this updated and see what happens. Fingers crossed. There's always a chance. Fuck it. Oi, oi. Wow, that's a view I haven't seen in a little while. Just finished getting the rods out. It's looking good. Plenty of insects hatching out, and scenery ain't bad either, to be fair. Right, let's dribble a bit. All fingers and thumbs, I know. Excuse the planes and the trains and Christ knows what in the background. Yeah, a bit of a nightmare start to this year really. Obviously I wanted to get on it and try and capitalise on what was working at the time. Those of you who remember, obviously we had January. I think most places had a lid on them, froze solid for, I don't know, a couple of weeks, whatever. Then what happened? I managed to do a session when we had the rain, and boy fuck did the rain come. So much flow, so much so most of these swims were flooded. You could still get to them, but it was a fucking nightmare. Anyway, on that last session, was that last session? No, it wasn't. I missed a session for whatever reason. I think trying to get it the right way around, but anyway, you know, we're pushing on to the end of sort of January by then. Now February I was thinking, right, that's it, I'm getting on it. Anyway, the first issue was my barrow let me down. BC UK barrow. Not impressed, but I have to say they did sort it out. But saying that is under warranty, so they didn't have a lot of choice there. But yeah, those of you who know, in the winter I push more kit, more weight, shitty paths, yeah, you know, but that's what it's designed for. So yeah, basically I pushed around there, done 2 nights. When I packed up to go, fucking dead as a door now. I was like, what? So yeah, I wasn't impressed with that. Needless to say, you know, best part of 600-700 quid worth of kit let you down. So yeah, managed to get hold of Mitch at BC UK. He eventually turned it around a little bit longer than I'd have liked, but that meant I missed another 2 week fishing, or 2 sessions, so 2 weekends, whatever, or two lots of Thursday, Friday, because that's what I normally do. So got that sorted, and then I had an issue with my van. The fucking wheel bearing on the way home last time, the wheel bearing started whirring like hell, and I was thinking, oh, for fuck's sake. So that was another weekend lost to that. I've had to get it sorted because I've got the MOT next week, so fingers crossed the old cart bus will get through. So yeah, basically this is the first opportunity I've had to get back on it, and we're now in March, so bonkers really. But allegedly, well, not allegedly, the kiddie up here, nice lad, I spoke to him back in December. He's had a couple, one being a 30, not one that I recognise. He's seen quite a few fish, and then it transpired that he actually had them out of the swim, so you never know. But I have done a lot on this swim anyway, so didn't involve too much leading about and disturbance. Rods out, plenty of ground bait over the top, and just a couple of spoms of 18 millers, that's it. Doing the usual fish meals, little tip of yellow corn on the top, nothing fancy. Steve's up here as well, he's in the next swim down in the Brazilian. So basically I'm opposite the pipe where I had those fish in December. Yeah, so they're obviously up here. Mate, he had them, I think he said he had them last week. 2 in a night, happy days, you know. So yeah, anyway, I'm going to cut this short for now, because trying to get sorted before it gets dark. Got the cob to load up. Tonight I've got pucker pie, chips and gravy, happy days. So I'm looking forward to that. And I've got a bottle of this. Thanks to my mum and stepdad on my birthday, hopefully you can see that. So it's another 19 crimes, but it's got a shot of cold brew coffee in it, or a fair amount of cold brew coffee, so infused it says. So yeah, that could be interesting later on. Obviously I won't be doing the whole bottle, one sitting. I don't know, might have it for breakfast if I catch one, you never know. So anyway, yeah, I'll leave that there for a minute. I'll elaborate a bit more tomorrow. Obviously I haven't done any blogging because I haven't been on the bank, which is a shame really, but anyway, let's flip this round a minute, give you one more last look at that. Wow, I do love this swim. You get some epic sunsets, and that fire margin does get a lot of sun in the morning, because obviously it comes up behind me. I was going to go on the pipe, which is bang opposite where I had the fish in December, but I thought, you know what, I'll be social with Steve for a night. Obviously he's next door. Yeah, see what unfolds. If I see much activity opposite this week, I should be going t'other side next week. That's how I plan to do it really, go off what I see. Obviously I live an hour and a half away, so I can't rely on coming up here regular to see, you know. Whereas a lot of people that are fishing at the moment are locals, so upper hand and all that. Old Robin singing away, bless him. Anyway, that's me for now, so I'll update this later. But,
Oi, finally back on the bank. Trying to remember now what I've recorded. Rich bastard in Spain. Yeah, from last session. Not a lot, because I ain't had no fish. I've only done a couple of sessions. I'm pretty sure I did blog it last time, so I won't ramble, but spring has sprung. Up on Whistly. Birds are singing. Trees are starting to bud. The old tractor. Tell you what, I would never have walked all the way around here if it weren't for that beast. Anyway, so when I was rambling away in my vlog last week, or week before rather, I was fishing right across there as a swim, called the Point. Well, I called the Point, everybody else called it something different, but as long as I know what it's on about, it doesn't matter, does it? So yeah, I got here, there's 4 cars in the car park. I was like, fucking really? But I ain't surprised really, because the conditions are just like that all of a sudden, aren't they? There's fly ashes going off everywhere. So I'm what, a couple hundred yards from the end of the lake, but that end's pretty deep and barren, hence why I haven't decided to go down there. So I'm back in the old trusted pipe swim that I had those fish back in December and November. So yeah, funny really. I hadn't seen nothing. I walked around, had a look, and literally I was just pushed into the swim, as you can see. Took my hoodie off. Did I take my hoodie off? I think I just took my hoodie off, walked down to the front here, and down to my margin. Sorry, it's a bit dodgy work. It's down here, badage. Happy days. So there's at least one fish here. Yeah, you can tell it's coming up. The old sprigs of new shoots coming up through the water, the old breeds. That's going to be lovely later on when that comes up. Bit of cover. So yeah, I'm just cooling down a little bit really, even though I've got a motorised barrow. There's a lot of weight on there, to be fair, and around there we've had some proper rain up here, obviously the last week or so. Obviously I don't know that till I get here, so going the long way was a bit of a mission. That had to help, you know, but yeah, we're here and we're going to be doing it, I should say. So yeah, I'm going to get sorted out. It just feels so good. It's so nice to have heat back, you know, not too much because I don't like it too hot, but yeah. So yeah, tactics for the day are going to be pretty much the same as usual. I've been tipping my bottom baits off with a bit of yellow. It's been fermenting in squid and octopus for donkeys, a couple of years at least that. So I just tip it off, a little bit of yellow corn, and I bought sweet corn this time just to put in the old ground bait mix that I use. And I probably might try one on a Ronnie, just a bit of yellow, no bottom bait, no boilies on it, and perhaps a bit of salt over a bit of corn, whack it in the bag. Yeah, just chuck that anywhere. Well, not anywhere, but find an area, you know what I mean? Just to see if yeah, they'll come onto that. Obviously the last session, I can't remember how many sessions I've done. I think I've only done 2 because I've had issues with one thing and another. Oh yeah, and the cart bus passed the MOT. Happy days. Well, I say it passed, it needed a tyre, so straight away I went and got a tyre back, put back on it, and straight back to the MOT place, and they put it through. So not bad for a 200,000 mile bus. Yeah, so that's one worry out of the way for a year. Anyway, yeah, I'm not going to ramble too much. That's already nearly 4 minutes, so I'll update this later when I'm sorted. Got the cob on and chilling out. Fucker. Evening. Wow, we're all sorted. Rod's been out for about an hour or so now. Yeah, like I said earlier, with the usual little boilie tip with a little bit of corn and a little sprinkle of corn in the mix. Like I said, just for a sight thing more than anything. Everybody knows yellow and corn, pretty good tactic this time of year. So yeah, nothing else has showed around to me right. Yeah, I couldn't believe it. Literally, as I walked in the swim, I was like, "Wow, we're joking." So yeah, but yeah, still good to see. Well, not see. I didn't actually see it, but definitely heard it. I reckon it was less than 20 yards away, to be honest. But it's quite sort of thick. I should have a look there. It's all quite thick, dense margin, and you can't get round there basically. As you can see, this tree that's just drooped loads over the years, stops you getting around there, which isn't a bad thing. I mean, it gives the fish a bit of a safe haven, doesn't it, really? But yeah, so they're all out on the dance floor. I've got 2 out at 17.5 wraps. There's like a nice silt gully it runs through. There's loads of sort of silt channels that go through this bit. Not really sure of the depth. I reckon you're probably looking at, it's been a long time since I stuck a marker across, to be honest, but I've done it from the point, which, you know, 20 wraps from both sides is about middle, so you're fishing at sort of 17-18 wraps to be on the safe side in case somebody rocks up opposite. But yeah, I reckon it's about 9 foot, if not a little bit more maybe, because we've got quite a bit of extra water in the lake still at the moment. So yeah, they're out, that's all that matters. Bit of bait over them, just lit the old cob, and I'm debating what to have tonight, to be honest. I've got a choice of the old lasagna and garlic bread, which went down a treat last session. Honestly, it's just a godsend, that cob. Brilliant bit of kit. Yeah, so it's either that, or I've got some roast potatoes, which are in a tray, but obviously fresh, not frozen, in goose fat, with a minced beef and onion pucker pie, a bit of veg and gravy. So maybe I might do that tomorrow night. Yeah, it's just not a lot of light left now. Obviously, sort out the rods and all the rest of it. I mean, I could do, it's not hassle just because it's dark, but yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be asked to get the other stove out and do the veg and all that. I might even just do potatoes and pie and gravy. That'll do me, be fair. Know what I mean? But so yeah, basically we had a spot. It's kind of hard to show it really on this camera, but
I am fishing round to the right, but not like right round. Same area as I had them fish on in November, December, basically. Exactly the same area. Yeah, like I said, the fact that I seen one earlier, or heard one, yeah, not far away at all. Yeah, hopefully it'll stand me in good stead, but we'll see. Anyway, a little update, like I said. Fingers crossed I could do another fish. It seems ages ago since December, and to be fair, it is. It's nearly, well, it is 3 months ago. It was the start of December, so yeah, it is over 3 months ago. But I haven't done an awful lot of trips. Winter didn't really go as planned, for one thing and another. But like I said, the old cars through the MOT, the vans through the MOT, nice. So hopefully that'll stay being faithful to me for a bit. Buy me a new ticket, that's got to be done within the next fortnight. It's another 500 sheets, so yeah, it's just as well the old Dan did go for the MOT really. But anyway, I'm rambling as usual, but it's certainly good to be back. It's funny because at home sometimes I'm like, oh, you know, because it is a hassle getting up here. You know, it's a good hour and a half drive. Obviously got to sort my kit out. I don't have a garage attached to where I live, but I've got one the other side of town, so I've got to go up there, make sure everything's, you know, ready to rock, get everything charged and get your food sorted. You know what I mean? Yeah, must be getting old, but sometimes it's a bit of a chore. But when I actually get here, I know that I love it. I treat it as my little garden, like, you know, every week when I come. But oh, birds singing away, which is nice. But anyway, there's a few people on. I don't know if I said that earlier or not, but there is a few people on. Not loads, I think there's four other anglers, or there was. So yeah, the old solar power anglers are out already. But you can't blame them with conditions like they have been, and what they are for the foreseeable. Looks like I might have a wet pack down Saturday, which is a bit shit, because it wasn't saying that earlier. It was saying later on Saturday, but it's what it is. I'm sure we can get stowed away in a way, hopefully anyway. But anyway, fingers crossed. I'm gonna get me food on in a bit. Dart start at 7 o'clock, so I should have that on my iPad. While sipping a bottle of wine, I reckon. And my little view of that. About my mugging away would be nice, wouldn't it? Love it. Yep, fingers crossed. Bugger. Evening. Wow. What a very uneventful night and day. Although I did hear a few fish last night, I've got to say. So yeah, they were pretty active, but not getting their heads down, unfortunately. Well, at least not where I am. Obviously the fish I heard were kind of in the vicinity. You know, it's never easy to pinpoint at night unless you're up and walking the banks, you know what I mean? But obviously I wasn't. But yeah, I've definitely heard a few. I've heard a handful down to the bay on my right, and yeah, no avail. So I've redone my right hand rod, mainly because yeah, I just wanted to check that the area was still as it was, you know, when I caught back in December. I was confident that it would be, and it was, to be fair. And I was yeah, just a nice silky strip basically. So sorry for phone shaking a bit. I've just been on the fern stick and my arm's like having a spazzy moment. Yeah, probably I just put, what, I don't know, half a kilo between 3 rods, just randomly scattering the body about, you know. If they are up and doing, then maybe they'll pick them up. Well, I see it. If it's not really pre-baiting, is it? I don't pre-bait anyway, regardless of the rules, but yeah, I don't really do that. I tend to put it in whilst I'm here, legitimately. And obviously that's still working for me when I'm not here. But yeah, no, like I said, very quiet, excuse all fingers and thumbs and vapes and stuff. I just poured me myself, I was going to say a glass, but another one of the 19 crimes. Courtesy of my mum and stepdad for my birthday. Was it my birthday? Yeah, it was my birthday. Bottle of rum, a couple of bottles of wine. Happy days. So yeah, that's the second bottle now, I think. Yeah, because on the last session I've done the coffee one, which was nice. Was nice, to be fair. But that would be better at home, in the warm, I think. Yeah, don't know. Not as nice as these ones, but yeah. So I'm gonna chill out for a bit, sip a bit of that bottle, and I can always take it home if I don't drink it all. I'm going to fire the cob up shortly. We got lasagna and garlic bread tonight. That worked really well last session. Yeah, use the old slices of garlic bread just to, oh yeah, perfect little shovels, you know what I mean. But yeah, let's have a little little leg stretch. So as far as I'm aware, nobody else has rocked up. Met a bailiff earlier on. I don't think I've met him before, but he seemed to know me. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but he goes, oh yeah, I know you got a ticket. So I don't know, word filters out, doesn't it, sometimes. Yeah, a nice chat with him for half hour or so. He said it has been fishing tough. He said, but it's nice to know you've done a bit through winter. I said, well, I have. I said, but the last fish I caught was December, which seems like an age ago now. Well, it doesn't seem like it. It doesn't seem that long ago, actually, if I'm honest. But, you know, we're 3 months in now from there. It's like, fucking hell. However, you know, obviously it's been winter, it's been frozen, and the weather's been shite. You know, usual winter stuff, really. And you know, don't get me wrong, it's not prolific here. I think it's 27 acres, and there's definitely less than 200 fish in here. So, you know, it's not too bad, but you know, it's by no means easy, and it runs water. You know what I mean? So yeah, you know, I mean, I said to him about the fish I had in December. He was like, "I know you've done well to have them." He said, because a lot of people knock it on the head sort of end of September, October time, and I'm like, really? And he was like, yeah. And to be fair, the best months I've had up here in the past as well has been September, October, November. You know, I've caught right up until November, but obviously last year up till December. So yeah, we'll see how this year unfolds. But so far, not so good. But hopefully that'll change. I probably will dot between here, Farn and Flint, Pinge, just because the ticket covers me to do, you know. I know I had a plan of going down Englefield. The more I think about it, it's just like, do you know what? I cannot be asked with falling out with people like I've done previously down there, because they seem to think they can claim swims and areas of the lake. It's like, fuck off, man. You know. Yeah, so I just can't be doing with that, basically. So I'm thinking, do you know what? I'll go where I want, and I'll just divide it. I mean, between here, Flint, and Pinge, not including Sonning. That's a world unto its own. You know what I mean? That's, I don't know how many acres, 300, 400 acres. It's a big old place. Never fished it as yet. But between here, Pinge, and Flint, you've got. At the right time, Pinge has got probably another 50 in it, which is coming through, which is floppy's hell, which I've already had. Fucking trains. Yeah, and some good backup fish, you know what I mean? And Flint's got a couple of 50-pound commons in it, and a near mid-40 mirror, if I'm right, if I remember rightly. I mean, I've done a fair bit on Flint, but I struggled on there, and it's a very swimmy lake, you know. You want to be in certain swims because it gets so much pressure. The fish are either at one end or the other, and the only hope you got really is intercepting them on the way through. Easier said than done, let's just put it that way. But yeah, so I think my plan is tickets up for renewal within the next month or two. Yeah, by the end of April, so I'll renew as a South, which will then mean the ticket I'm on now will run out in June. It's complicated. I don't know what you've got to pay in fucking advance, but you have. So yeah, my ticket up here will run till June, and then I'll still have my South ticket from then onwards, and then I'll just renew or bump up my ticket to get the Platinum ticket, which covers me for this and Sonning for the winter months, because obviously I know I can catch right up till last knockings in winter. So anyway, I'm rambling shit, but yeah, just trying to keep in check what I'm doing, really. But yeah, as far as I know, there's no new blood up here at the minute. Apparently the beta said there's a guy over in the swim opposite. I did see him when I walked around actually, and I thought, it's a swim that don't get fished that much. Straight away I thought, it must have seen something to be in there, but apparently it's done 4 nights and had fuck all. So yeah, don't assume, people, don't assume, you know. But I must admit I did. I was thinking, that's quite a strange little plot, really. But yeah, maybe he did see something in there and went in after, you know. But we certainly haven't had nothing by all accounts, unless you told the bailiff load of bullshit. You never know, dear. You never know. But anyway, the old sun's dropping. I'm going to crack on with a bottle of wine, light the cob, and then chill out, really. So yeah, let's hope we get one tonight, man. It'd be nice to have another fish. Start the year, start the season off well, if you like. The year, it's not really a season anymore, is it? It just runs straight away through. But yeah, at least try and have one early doors spring. We'll see. But oi. Well, I'm back again for more punishment. As you can probably hear, it's pissing down. What date? It's the 23rd, so yeah, Thursday 23rd March. Yeah, Steve's up here, and I am in the swim opposite from the pipe. And then what you can see, to be fair, there is the pipe. Unfortunately, there was somebody in there. Fair play, is where it goes, isn't it? Club water. Yeah, he got up here yesterday, I believe. Steve was chatting to him in the car park. Basically telling him that he had, I think he said he had 6:30s out of there last year, out that swim. So I'm like, right, so I'm going to be in a bit of turf wars with somebody if I want to do any more time in that swim. But yeah, it is what it is. I don't mind any of these swims really on this lake. Anyway, so Steve was up here yesterday. He's up nothing. Obviously I'm in the next swim up, which is a point, and there was somebody when I got here in the scaffold. But little did Steve know, obviously, and I didn't know till I got here, that he had one this morning and lost one. So yeah, it had 30, I can't remember what he said now, 33, 34, so a nice fish as well, nice mirror. He had that about 9 o'clock this morning. Reckons he lost one about 5:30 as well. And to be fair, I nearly dropped in there behind him, but I don't know, just don't like going in the swims behind somebody, you know what I mean? And as I stood there chatting to him, another one nutted out a good 200 yards away, but like, you know, other side of the lake. So they're definitely up and doing, you know. And funny enough, when I was chatting to Steve, I sort of stood where I am now, and I had my kit on my barrow, and I was umming and ahhing. And one nutted out in front of me, probably, I don't know, I reckon about between 40 and 60 yards, somewhere about there. But not really an area I can hit, because you've got this, is that the right tree? Yeah, that's this tree here. Not that one. That one stops you from going right out the swim, which isn't a bad thing, really, but there isn't much of a gap between that tree and that tree. And obviously, they've got a proper southwesterlies at the moment. So as you can imagine, I'm hitting a clip at like 18 rats, and the fucking bow and the line's just bonkers. So yeah, it's been a bit of a mission really, getting the rods out to the spots today, but I got them there eventually. I'm relatively happy. To be fair, it's just a silt channel anyway, but you know, I just like to be sure that I don't know, it's one of those, I'm positive I'm in a channel, but you know, when I hit that clip, I want that fucking line down straight out of the way, and there's just no way of getting your rod left or right, so bit of a nightmare. But also done in the end was clipped on some little back leads, only little ones, got hold of the line with my hand and pulled down so I could feel the lead. You can obviously feel the weight of the lead. I'm using 3.5 ounces. Hit the back lead on a tight line, slid that out. So I'm happy that they ain't gonna move. This fucking rain's getting worse, I tell you. It's savage. I'm glad I got here. I mean, I was up at 7:30 this morning, and I don't know what time I got here now. I must have got here, I think I was in the gate just around 10 o'clock, something like that. Might have been earlier. Yeah, somewhere around that time. But it's a good job I did, because I mean, we stood around, had a chat and a cup of tea, and like you do. Yeah, threw my bivvy up. Once I decided I was coming in here, all the kit and that stowed away, and literally got my rod set up. Not cast out, but set up, and rig's done. And then it's been raining ever since, really. So if I'd have come any later, I'd have been fucked. So yeah, stuck the rods out in the rain. Not too big of a deal, really. Chuck the old waterproof coat on. Got to say, these old Fox, what are they called, 10K? Oh, I can't remember now. Fox Chunk 10K. Yeah, RS 10K. It's fucking brilliant. Lightweight, and it's proper waterproof. But the trouble is, this time of year, once it's wet, it's fucking wet, isn't it? You ain't drying it out, so yeah, but it kept me dry doing the rods anyway. So I'm hoping that the rain's going to bugger off at some point, because I'm on to light the cob later. I've got a choice of pizza and garlic bread for tonight, or full English, but I'll probably do that tomorrow. easier to do that at daylight really. That's if it ain't raining, but we'll see. So yeah, probably go pizza and garlic bread. Yeah, just hope this rain backs off a bit. Otherwise, I have to fry it, but I'll do it in a bit on the stove, not a problem. Worst case. But yeah, what I'm going to say is mega conditions. Obviously, this fish have been caught. That's the only one that I know of and lost one. But there ain't anybody else on the lake. I think there's somebody up on the Sunbot on the shallows, but you know, it's possible that they're down there. But it's one of them at the moment. I've now seen fish, what, 500 yards apart, and then one caught in between me and that where I've seen that fish. So you know, they're definitely waking up and they're spread about. So I don't think at the moment it really matters too much where you are, as long as you're presented somewhere sensible. I think them fish are well up and moving. Really low pressure at the moment. It's like 980 something. Lowest has been in quite a while. The trouble is this rain's made it feel a lot colder. It actually felt quite pleasant when I got here, but yeah, it's not now. The swim's cut up the fuck already. It's like somebody tipped gravy all over it. So yeah, not really a lot to report. I know I've got several of these blogs where I've blanked, but you know, it's carp and raw. This is what it's like week in, week out, and then all of a sudden it'll come right, you know. We hope it does anyway. So yeah, not a lot else to say really other than what I've already covered. The ticket's up for renewal. It's a big chunk of money and all it is for me, 500 quid, you know. So what I've decided to do is I'll wait. It gives me another month's grace basically. I mean, my ticket runs to June anyway, but for whatever reason they decided it'd be a good idea to take the money in March for the following year, which is stupid really, but there you go. So you're paying for a year you haven't even got yet, if you know what I mean. But I suppose, yeah, I don't know, weird way of doing it. But so basically, if you're going to renew the ticket you've already got, then you need to do it by the end of March. It's 500 quid. I can't really afford to do that at the moment. Failing that, then from April they kind of like open the floodgates to new members or existing members wanting to downgrade a ticket or change the ticket, because you've got a platinum south ticket and a north ticket. Whiskey's on the north ticket along with Sonin, which I haven't fished. Might do one day. I haven't really thought about it, to be honest. Or you've got the south ticket, which is Pinge, Englefield Lagoon and Farnham Flint, which are lovely lakes, but it's just fucking circus on there, you know. Every year's the same. But what I'm thinking I might do is go for the south ticket, which is 350 quid. So you know, 150 quid, 150 quid. Which would then enable me to fish obviously Pinge and do a bit on Flint, sort of in the warmer months. Obviously this ticket will then still run till June, because it doesn't run out till June. And then hopefully I'll be able to go back up to a platinum ticket. So basically what I've done last year was paid an extra 150 quid to get them platinum bolted on. So I ended up getting on there then for winter. So I might do the same again. If there's tickets available. If there isn't, then don't know. I'll have to stay down Pinge and that. But I think I'll be alright, to be fair. There's some banging fish in here, but not big enough for the dare I say it, so-called celeb anglers at the moment. So they ain't interested in this. They're in 50 in there, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's how it lies at the moment. There's mega hatches going off everywhere. I mean, as soon as that rain stops, the midges are rife, absolute rife. Trying to get in my bivvy. Fuck off, you're not coming in here. So yeah, anyway, I'll keep it at that for now. I've got a few ciders tonight, so I'll probably have a couple of them. The old darts start at 7 o'clock, so I'll have that on the iPad, keep me occupied. Yeah, hope the rain stops, I can have a pizza then. Happy days. But until then, I'll keep this updated later on. Sorry about the shit camera work, we ain't got much to look at, but ain't got much to look at out there either really. It's pretty drizzle. Oh yeah, fingers crossed, we might have one later, you never know. Fuck out. Morning. Well, there's only one reason that I'll be up at I don't think you can see anything. There's only one reason I'd be up at 5 o'clock in the morning. Just had my first fish of the year. Come on. Buzzing, man. It's at 5:15 now, so I had it at 5 o'clock. Yeah, middle rod. Over the spot that I've had fish before, really. What can I say? 18 wraps, bottom bait, fish meal again. Tipped with a bit of corn, that's the only difference.
no ground bait at all last night. Literally 2 spawns of just mushed up 18 millers. A few old ones, 2 spawns over each rod. That's it, nothing else. He's a good common, he's definitely a good common. I'm not going to say how big, but I think he's near £30. I'll be surprised if he hadn't. But I've been wrong before. This is going to be shit footage because I don't think you can see anything, but it's carp and raw. So hold on, let me step my light, bivvy light on. Oh, fucking hell. Whee. Not really want to see my face this time in the morning. Yeah, what sound though? Obviously at 5 o'clock. Yeah, recovering from the cold. Very nearly didn't come, but I was like, these conditions, it's just the one. So I'm glad I come, basically. Yeah, just been told Steve, he's like a bear of a sore head this morning. Standard. But yeah, come on. He's a good common. I just hope he's as big as I think. What can I say? Yeah, nearly daylight, so I'm gonna have a celebratory brew, and then we'll find out what to do with. Fucking pucker, come on. Well, as I said in my previous vlog, this is carp and raw. It's minging, but that's the way you do it. Just had another one. I don't even know what time it is, to be fair. See another three fish show between me and Steve, one literally over me rod. Yeah, and it's just trundled off, little drop back. Mental. Say hello, geese.
Hello, geese.
Oh, man, over the fucking moon. Well, this is the second of the 2 fish. 20 leeches on his tail, man. Fucking hell. Clearly he's just woke up. 25-2. Was it what? No. Come on. Look at that. Yeah, I've had you before, mate. Pretty sure I've had him before. But don't matter, don't it? This time of year. Yeah, oh no. Typical spastic move. Moving that back a little bit because I think I'm too close, but what can I say? Stuck with what I know, innit, geez? Yeah. Funny enough, I did piss around with a pop-up for ages yesterday and I wasn't happy with it. So I binned it off and went back to the bottom baits. Tip with corn.
Leech on its peck, where your hand is.
Oh yeah. You ain't supposed to put them off, see? Never mind. Right, I'm still rolling yet. Oh, come on, mate. Make it as easy as possible. Happy boy. The old fish meal stroke burfoos are still working. Yeah, last fish was December, 3rd of December I think. We're carrying on as we left off. Done a few blank sessions obviously, but who cares? Not when you have them like this. That's one done. Got another one to come which is bigger. So happy days. That'll do, mate. Well, that's the main course. £31, proper early spring. Common. Okay, now, man.
Immaculate.
Mate, that is pucker, isn't it? Liked a bit of fish meal, mate, didn't ya? Hey? Oh man, I am chuffed. Proper chuffed. He's covered in leeches, so literally they've only just woke up, haven't they? There's been a couple of other fish out on the lake, isn't there, over the last week or so, couple of weeks. One lad in particular has been having them. Tell you what though, he's mint condition, isn't he? Absolute stunning, mate. Oh, back. they the best colours, man, this time of year. Say I'm chuffed is an understatement, mate. Seriously. Happy days. Yeah, not even me. That'll be, mate. We're getting soaked here.
Sorry, mate.
Fucking twat. Look at that. It looks mint in the screen. Look at it in the screen, mate. Fucking hell. It's nice when you can look at the screen though, because you appreciate it more. Look at it. Tell you what, reminds me of the large commons. They're really up front, weren't they? Alright, mate.
Hey?
Yeah, man. Can't quite believe I'm going to say this, but I just had another one. Wow, well, I say just about half hour ago, a little bit more. When I had one rod left, sat there just getting my life together a bit. Obviously a bit of carnage after I cut the fish, and it's fucking the other one, last rod's gone. Oh, fucking hell. Yeah, 24.5 mirror. Talk about yeah, timing. Bonkers, man. I feel a bit bad because Steve's like next to him down and he's had fuck all, but I guess that's fishing, isn't it, really? But I'm blown away. I ain't really got any words. So happy days, 3 fish in the morning, 2 mid-20s and a 30. Still full of cold, but who gives a fuck? Because we're catching them. Fuck that. There we go. Number 3 in the morning. What, 24.5? Proper, I don't know, right old warrior, isn't he? Massive great tail on it. I only had one rod left in the water and it ripped. I was like, fucking no way. Unbelievable. Covered in leeches. It ain't cold though. It definitely ain't cold. They're awake, I think, don't you, mate?
Yeah.
The fucking pegs on it. Beer match. What can I just lost the words, man. I'm quite happy to go home now. I'm not going to though, obviously. Ooh, ooh, up.
Oh.
Slippery bugger. Look at that. Little chunk, man. I don't really know what else to say, to be honest. Cheers, Chris, for your help, mate.
Just get your rods back out of the water.
Oh,
innit?
mate. Fucker. Unbelievable morning. It's not even 9 o'clock yet, is it? Fucker. Oi. No, I've not had another one. I've had a nice peaceful day actually. And it's done nothing but fucking chuck it down. Yeah, literally all day. Non-stop fucking rain. Apart from this morning really. So yeah, I utilised it by having a bit of kit. As soon as I was rudely awoken at, what was it, about 5 o'clock, maybe just before, boy, that first fish this morning, which I'm definitely not complaining about. But I don't like kipping in the day because you just wake up and you don't know what fucking time it is, what day it is. Or I don't anyway. I liken it to jet lag. It's like, fucking hell, where am I? So yeah, I think it's just gone 6 o'clock. Yeah, woke up, went for a pee, and I'm surrounded. So there's a guy gone in next door in the in the scaffold, we call it. It's got a scaffold pole in the swim, so. And there's somebody gone in where Steve was. I didn't even hear him go past, to be honest. I was asleep, to be fair. Yeah, so the sky's looking a lot more healthier now. I'm not supposed to get any more rain till tomorrow evening, but excuse me, still coughing like a good one. But I'd rather be coughing like a good one there than at home. Because obviously I wouldn't have caught anything otherwise, would I? But what a start to the spring for me, really, this year. Yeah, mental, 3 fish. And what we went now, 24, was it 24 and a half? I honestly can't remember, 26, 25, 26, 4, something like that, and 31 dead, I can remember that one. Yeah, all bangers, all covered in leeches. I mean, yeah, literally, the groups are hanging off the, like, in the creases of their pecks, on the tails. I did put a few of them off, but I have heard mixed stories that, you know, you shouldn't, because obviously it leaves a lesion where they were attached. obviously leaves it open to infection. I suppose it's, you think you're doing them a favour pulling them off, but I don't know whether you are or not. So I had a few of them off, ones that came off easy, but they're proper attached. I mean, I cut my hand open doing something or other while sorting the fish out, and yeah, a bit of blood, they were straight on it. The leeches were. So yeah, I just lit the cob. It'll be a full English tonight. I think it's well deserved. Couple of ciders probably when I'm deciding I'm awake enough, where it doesn't feel like breakfast, if you know what I mean. Yeah, so basically from where I'm sat, 1, 2, 3, it's 4 other anglers and I'm in the middle. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see if a bit of history repeats itself tomorrow or not. I ain't fussed if it does or doesn't, to be honest. Yeah, 3 fish is just, well, what can I say? 1 fish would have been happy days yesterday, but there you go. But anyway, I'm rambling, so I'm going to drink my tea. Wait for the cobs to come up to temperature. I've got the, I don't know if I've shown you this before, probably. Look at that for a frying pan. So frying pan, stroke curry dish, stroke whatever really, but yeah, sold as a frying pan. Proper weighty piece of kit. I should do everything in there, and then use it as a plate and eat out of it. Happy days. It's only washing up I have really is that, and a knife and fork. Easy, isn't it? Over charcoal. Even the charcoal don't need firelighters, just stick it on my stove, couple of minutes, get the coals glowing, off it goes. But yeah, I'm relieved that the old rain stock has been fucking relentless. So yeah, hopefully that'll be the last of it for a while. The ground's saturated, so yeah. Anyway, I'm chuffed to fuck, as you can imagine, and I'm glad to have a bit of content as well. I've had, I must have at least 4 or 5 blogs. No, I think there's only 4 actually, blank sessions. But I mean, you know, we're only just coming up to the sort of, yeah, the last week of March now, so it's still early days, you know. So yeah, then blank sessions like January, February, understandable really. Yeah, now I feel like I'm rambling, but anyway, if I don't have any further action, then I'm looking forward to uploading this video, especially at the end with the fish and that. But you never know, there's always tomorrow morning, and if there's anything like this morning, okay now, yes, it could be interesting, we'll see. But anyway, for now, I'm chilling out, and if there's anything to update later, I might well do that. Yeah, anyway, thanks for watching. Baka. Morning. Wow, what a different morning it is today. Boy, this time yesterday I had 3 fish, but 24 hours on, I've not even had a fucking bleep. Just shows how mad these little windows can be in spring. Any real difference? I suppose you could say pressure. I've got someone behind me, someone to the right of me, which is where Steve was. Hello mate, my little mate Robin coming back. One opposite over there, one over there. So yeah, I'm bang in the middle of them basically. Battery warning come up there, I don't know whether that's still recorded. Anyway, I'll continue. But yes, so it fucking rained and rained and rained, as I said in my previous blog yesterday. So I don't know whether that injection of cold water put them down again, really, it's possible. There's still a chance of a bite, but I will be packing up shortly. Yes, still full of cold. I thought it might help shift it being on the bank, but I feel alright, but just bunged up, you know, probably the last bit of it, hopefully. So yeah, looking forward to getting away dry, getting back, sorting the kit out, and on the chaise lawn tonight, which is the sofa, basically. But yeah, I ain't fussed, I ain't cool. In fact, I'm surprised I haven't, but then when I think about it, you know, that was a fucking lot of cold water gone in here yesterday, that rain, all day, literally all day. So yeah, but I mean, what a start. I'll say a start, I mean, you know, there's blogs back to January up to now, which is obviously bolted on in front of this. Yeah, it just basically diaries what it's really like, you know. What can I say? I said a handful of blank sessions, I've already said that, but it's all part of it, you know. And then when it does come together like it has this session, bonkers. And that's just so, you know, how quick it can
just changed like that, you know. So anyway, I'm going to leave it there, unless anything happens in between now and the next hour or two before I pack up. I doubt it, not now, but you never know. You never know. Anyway, yeah, until next time, tight lines, bucket.